The US media said in the news that as early as nearly 20 years ago, the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force first announced its plan to develop a fifth-generation fighter J-35. And there are reports that the program has another stealth fighter bomber in development. The U.S. Air Force recently announced that Northrop Grumman's new generation stealth bomber, the B-21, will enter low-speed initial mass production in 2023. Human machine is a lead for China. In this regard, the U.S. military media 1945 issued a document saying that China also has its own trump card to deal with the new stealth strategic bombers from the United States. It is believed that the PLA Air Force is seeking to develop at least two new types of stealth aircraft. In 2018, the formal announcement came, and though the bomber remains under wraps, we know it features a fly-wing design. The arrival of H-20 will complete the PLA Air Force's plans to achieve a nuclear triad, an important milestone as it looks to up its deterrence game. The B-21 Raider's stealth technology is expected to be 2 generations ahead of the B-2 that first took flight in the late 1980s. The People's Liberation Army could be very close to launching the H-20 stealth bomber, a warplane that could effectively double its strike range, as the top brass is committed to upgrading its weapon systems. Speaking at public events in China, multiple commanders of the PLA Air Force reiterated that China was keen on beefing up its combat capabilities in both offensive and defense operations to establish a strong strategic deterrence, something President Xi Jinping has also said recently. In its bid to strengthen its aerial capabilities, China has been steadily working on its 20 series aircraft, which include the Y-20 heavy lifter, Z-20 helicopter, and J-20 stealth fighter. The H-20 is expected to fulfill the role of the stealth bomber, which has been missing in China's strike options. The H-20 stealth bomber has been exposed by China Central Television or military media several times. The news of this bomber is relatively more accurate. This type of bomber adopts a flying wing design, similar to the American B-21 bomber, and has strong stealth ability. Last May, the South China Morning Post also reported that the Chinese defense company China Ordnance Industry Corporation released 4 computer-generated images of the H-20 stealth bomber. It was revealed that the aircraft has a stealth magazine, 2 adjustable tails, an airborne radar in the front, and 2 stealth air intakes on each side. American experts believe that the H-20 stealth bomber has both nuclear and conventional strike capabilities and can be equipped with nuclear missiles and conventional missiles. The maximum takeoff weight of the aircraft is about 200 tons, and the maximum bomb load is 45 tons. It can carry China's newly developed air-launched hypersonic missiles to further enhance combat performance. The ultra-long range and penetration capability of this missile can counteract the U.S. land-based anti-missile system. The range of the H-20 should be more than 10,000 kilometers, which means that China's long-range stealth bombers can covertly strike U.S. military bases in Japan, U.S. troops in Guam, and all targets in the United States. The threat and deterrence capabilities of the system should not be underestimated. The H-20 stealth bomber will enter the PLA Air Force in the next few years, and the development of this bomber may have come to an end. The maximum deterrence of stealth bombers is to bomb the enemy's homeland. Mainland China is 3,000 kilometers from Guam, 5,500 kilometers from Alaska, 6,500 kilometers from Hawaii, 12,000 kilometers from the west coast of the United States, 7,500 kilometers from Canada, 8,800 kilometers from the United Kingdom, 6,000 kilometers from Saudi Arabia, 690 kilometers from Japan, and 4,500 kilometers from Sydney, Australia. 14,000 kilometers away from South Africa, 18,800 kilometers away from Brazil. Seeing that China's long-range stealth bomber starts at least 12,000 kilometers away, the design standard is 14,000 kilometers, and the H-20 is equipped with 4 turbofan 15 engines. Insufficient endurance requires aerial refueling. Aircraft combat performance improved several times. In fact, there is no need for long-range bombers at such a short distance from Japan, Hawaii, Australia, and Alaska. Using the H-20 is overkill. So China still needs a medium-range stealth bomber with a battery life of 8,000 kilometers. The H-18 is equipped with 2 turbofan 15s, with a battery life of 8,000 kilometers, a takeoff weight of 100 tons, and a bomb load of 14 tons. The takeoff weight is 120 tons, and the bomb load is 15 tons. 2 turbofans 15 have a total thrust of 37 tons, and 4 turbofans 19 have a total thrust of more than 40 tons. At the beginning of the design of the aircraft, the airframe is finalized. Later, minor changes can be made but not major changes, especially for large tonnage. Unlike warships, aircraft can be modified for large tonnage. The Air Force is most interested in the 2 turbofan 15 scheme H-18, which is easy to maintain and only needs 2 engines. The detonation engine was successfully developed in the later period. It is also possible to increase the H-20 to 240 tons and the H-18 to 120 tons. Therefore, China's future H-20 and H-18 will be very powerful air supremacy. On November 10, the National Interest magazine website published an article entitled, "Should the US military worry about China's stealth bombers?" The article said, according to a US Defense Intelligence Agency released earlier this year reports, the PLA Air Force is developing is not a stealth bomber, but 2 stealth bomber. One of them is the H-20 long-range stealth bomber with flying wing layout, which is a powerful electronic countermeasure suite and sensor fusion integrated system, and the other is a fighter bomber code-named JHXX. The current era is an era of rapid development of detection technology, and the air detection of the capital ships of major navies is often 500 to 600 kilometers. The survivability of bombers without stealth capabilities is already quite low. However, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine proves that in high-intensity wars, it is impossible for cruise missiles to conquer the world. Guided bombs are an indispensable part of modern warfare, so the stealth of bombers is a must. Obviously, military think tanks have a much longer view than military fans, so China launched the research and development plan for the H-20 stealth strategic bomber 10 years or more ago.